Hello, what's up everyone? Sachin here, and today I'm going to show you why 0 to the power 0 is not equals to 1. See, we have always heard anything to the power of 0 is equals to 1, but this is a false statement because anything to the power of 0 is not equals to 0. What if a is 0, then a to the power 0 is not equals to 1. And today we are going to prove why this is not equals to 1. People just tell you that 0 to the power 0 is not equals to 1, so not anything to the power 0 except 1 is 0. So anyway, we are going to prove that this is not equals to 0. So first we have to understand how a to the power of 0 is for a not equals to 0 is 1. Okay, so before we get that, let's just try to understand with example. 2 square is equals to 2 square, because both of them are 4, so we can write this as 2 square by 2 square is equals to 1. I just did cross multiplication, so we can write this as 2 by 2 whole squared equals to 1. Now 2 by 2 will cancel out, so we get 1 squared equals to 1, and we can write this as 2 minus 2 is equals to 1. 2 to the power 0 is equals to 1, but we prove that 1 is equals to this, so we can write it as 2 to the power 0 is equals to 2 by 2 whole to the power 0 is equals to 1. Okay, we get this step. Now just take a to the power of 0 for an example is equals a to the power of, let's do n equals to a to the power of n. We can do the same thing, a to the power n by a to the power n equals to 1, so a by a whole to the power of n equals to 1, or we can write it as a to the power n minus n equals to 1, so a to the power 0 equals to 1, which we can write it as a to the power 0 is equals to a to the power n by a whole equals to 1. So that's our thing. But there's one more thing that we need to do, which now let's come to the original thing, which is 0 to the power 0 not equals to 1. So first let's assume 0 to the power of 5 is equals to 0 to the power of 5, because 0, if you multiply by 5 times, you still get 0, and so. Now it would be interesting to see 0 to the power of 5 is equals to 0 to the power of 6, and if we apply exponential functions to that, you understand the problem. I will showcase this in the next video if I make one. So 0 to the power of 5 by 0 to the power of 5 is equals to 1. So we can write it as 0 by 0 whole to the power of 5 is equals to 1, or we can write it as 0, 5 minus 5 is equals to 1. 0 to the power 0 is equals to 1. Now Sachin, now you may ask me that I just proved that 0 to the power of 0 equals to 1. Well, I did not, because this thing 0 by 0 is undefined. So what you're basically writing is null is equals to 1. So this becomes 0 to the power 0 is equals to 1 is equals to null. Now unless you can prove 1 is equals to null, then you cannot prove 0 to the power 0 is equals to 1. So 0 to the power of 0 is not equals to 1, hence proved. Thanks guys.